praise you, Abba, you are good. Your grace and your mercy endures forever and ever is your faithfulness. Let those who have ears hear. Isaiah, 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 Isaiah chapter 30. Off top, what is that? Off top, we have a woe. A woe to the rebellious children, says Yah. They make plans, but the plans aren't mine. They develop alliances, but not from my spirit. In order to pile sin upon sin, they go down to Egypt, but don't consult me. Seeking refuge in Pharaoh's protection, seeking shelter in Egypt's shadow. You ever done that? You ever had an issue, had a problem, something happened, and you didn't consult Yah, but you ran to the world? You sought out the Pharaoh's protection. You were seeking shelter in Egypt's shadow. If it's Egypt's shadow, that means what? They're blocking the sun. They're blocking the light. You didn't consult Yah, but you trusted in Egypt and Pharaoh. Seeking shelter in Egypt. But one thing about seeking Pharaoh's protection will bring you to shame. Seeking shelter in Egypt's shadow will lead you to disgrace. Facts. Though his princes are at Zoan and his envoys have retained, they're all disappointed with a people that doesn't help them, who give no assistance and no advantage, only disappointment and disgrace. Isn't that how it is? You reach out to what? The world, to Egypt, to Pharaoh. Duck it behind their shadow. Right. And after you do that, you receive, you got no assistance, no advantage, only disappointment and disgrace. For real. A prophecy about the animals. Listen, let those who have ears hear. Little meaty here, but we still drinking milk. In a land of trouble and anguish, of lionesses and roaring lions and vipers and poisonous flying serpents, they carry their riches on donkeys' backs and their treasures on camels' humps, to a people who will not help them. Okay, let's slow down here. Have you noticed this in your own reading? Like the Most High will prophesy to the wind, to the mountains. He prophesied to the land. He prophesied to the forest, to the water, to the sea, to the animals. Like everything that is under your authority, everything that's supposedly yours, he crushed or he uplift, right? So right now, they ducking and running. They're trying to run where? To Egypt. But they got to get there. They ain't got no cars, right? So they got to take animals, right? So imagine like 2022, right? The Most High cursing your car because of your sin. Within this last 9 months alone, I've been through 9 pickup trucks. 9 months alone, I've been through 3 pickup trucks. And it's me, so I'm always going to say it's my sin all day long. Every time it's me, right? Cursing your transportation. And this is what's happening here. Okay. In the land of trouble and anguish, of lionesses and roaring lions, of vipers and poisonous flying serpents, they carry their riches on donkeys' backs and their treasures on camels' humps. Where? To a people who won't help them. Only give them disappointment and disgrace. People that's not give them no assistance, only no advantage, only disappointment and disgrace. Because what? Because Egypt's help is worthless. Egypt's help is pointless. So I call her arrogance doing nothing. Now go, inscribe it on a tablet, write it for them in escrow, so that on the final day it will be a witness forever and ever. For this is a rebellious people. They are lying children who refuse to hear the Torah. And it's what they say to the people. It's what the people say. They are lying children, children who refuse to hear the Torah. Now they refusing to hear the instructions. So what they mouth start to say, they say to the seers, "Don't see." To those who have visions, don't tell us. They don't want to know. They don't want his Torah. They don't want to know what Yahweh is showing the prophets at all. They don't want to be shown it. They don't want to be told it. They don't want to hear it. Like they cutting off all their opportunity. They're cutting off. Let's see if we get a better focus here like that. They're cutting off all their opportunity. They're cutting off every single orifices, right? They don't want to hear. They don't want to see. And they don't want to be told. They don't want to hear. They don't want to see. And they don't want to be told. Right? Right? Let's see. Maybe that'll work a little better. Now go and scribe it on a tablet, write it for them in a scroll, so that on the final day it will be a witness forever and ever. For this is a rebellious house. They are lying children, children who refuse to hear the Torah. They say to the seers, do not see. To those who have visions, don't tell us the visions you have as they really are. But do what? But flatter us, fabricate illusions. Okay, hold on. Fabricate illusions. And then what they doing in the church house of the day? Getting flattered. Going to church every Sunday, being told how blessed and highly favored you are with your good sinning ass. Hey, check this out. I've done a lot of wrong things in my life. A lot of sin. I like know how to swim in it, backstroke, you know what I mean? And I promise you, at no point in time when I was playing in sin was I blessed and highly favored. At no time I was cursed. Cursed. So I didn't want to be told the truth. I didn't want to be told what was really being shown. I didn't want to hear the truth, the Torah, the instructions. Yeah, I seen this thing on I saw this thing on TV where this dude in some church in Africa somewhere, maybe Jamaica, I don't know. Homeboy brought in a hologram, got the people praying and all the music going, and he made some angels fly through the church. Got the people thinking they were seeing a vision, but used a hologram to fool the people, and of course to get that money. So look, fabricate illusions. Get out of the way, leave the path, rid us of the Holy One of Israel. You see that? Like, rid us of who? Holiness. We don't want to hear that Torah of that God that's holy. Therefore, this is what the Holy One of Israel says. Because you reject his word, trust in extortion, and rely on deceit, this sin will become for you a crack bulging out on a high wall, showing signs it is ready to fall. Then suddenly, all at once, it breaks. Pause. Like, I know about that. I know about, you know what I'm saying, not hearing the Torah, being rebellious, and being a liar, and refusing to hear. People trying to show me something I ain't trying to see it. People trying to tell me something I ain't trying to hear. Sitting there living a life of fabricated illusions. And therefore, guess what happened to me? Because I rejected his word, and I trusted in extortion. I know what it is to extort somebody. I trusted in extortion, wrong deeds, and I relied on deceit. Because what? Because it's lying, right? I relied on deceit, and that sin became for me a big old crack that started bulging out on a high wall. because that's what I built for myself, a fortified wall, and it was showing signs. It was ready to fall, but I ain't nothing about it. Then what? Suddenly, all at once, it breaks. He will break it like a clay pot, ruthlessly shattering it into pieces so tiny not even a potsherd remains for taking fire from the fireplace or scooping water from the cistern. Got no use for you now. You're broken up. For this is what Adonai Elohim says, the Holy One. Since she didn't want to grab onto his holiness, the Holy One of Israel broke you up. Oh man, I love this stuff. But guess what he says? That's what he says. Like, look at that. But here's an answer. After I broke you up, there's an answer. Returning, repenting. Returning and resting is what will save you. Repenting and resting is what will save you. Calmness and confidence will make you strong. Quit being geeked out. Quit getting geeked out and flipping out. Calmness and confidence will make you strong. Not just exuding confidence. Calmness and confidence will make you strong. But what will save you is returning and resting in your return. And as you're resting in your return, you can be calm. And since you return and you're resting in this place you return to, you're calm, and therefore your confidence, and then you be made strong. But you know what? You don't want none of this. No, you say we will flee on horseback, therefore you will surely flee, and we will ride on swift fronts, so your pursuers will be swift, right? You say you finna get up out of here. Okay, I'm finna send some after you, and those who I'm sending after you just as fast as you. 8,000 will flee at the threat of one. You will flee at the threat of 5 until you are left isolated, like a flagstaff on a mountaintop, like a banner on a hill. Like in another place, Deuteronomy 28, as a matter of fact, you know your enemy will come in one way and flee 7. But then it's the blessing. But then the cursing says that, you know what I'm saying, you the one gonna flee 7. And this is what's happening now. You're trying to run, 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 trying to run. All you gotta do is quit running and return. Prodigal. Verse 18. Why? Because 1,000 will flee at the threat of 1. You will flee at the threat of 5 until you are left isolated like a flagstaff on a mountaintop, like a banner on a hill. Yet, Yah is just waiting to do what? Show you favor. He will have pity on you from on high. For Yah is a God of justice. And what? Happy are all who wait for him. People in Zion who live in Jerusalem, you will weep no more. At the sound of your cry, he will show you his grace. On hearing it, he will answer you. Like we notice, it's the cry that he hears, bro. Like throughout, all the scriptures. And then, throughout the readings, when they double back from through the Psalms, through the prophets, even my man Stephen, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? He replayed the whole thing. It's always this process of us leaving and returning, us seeing his grace coming to us. Like this, and this is what he's saying here. Returning and resting is what will save you. I'm just waiting to show you some favor. I'm up here trying to have pity on you because I'm just. And I'm just to my covenant, right? And happy are all of us who wait for him. People of Zion who live in Jerusalem will weep no more at the sound of your cry. And all these times in the scriptures where they were able to return, like all throughout the book of Judges, what happened? They would be doing good and they would start sinning. And because they sin, they get overtaken by their enemies, because the enemies all around them is oppressing them. Then they do what? Then they cry. And then what God will do is what? Raise up a judge. And this judge would defeat their enemy, but the judge's main job is to what? What was that judge's main job? All the judges in the book of Judges was to do what? Bring the people back to the Torah. And once that judge brought the people back to the Torah, the people the people were empowered by the Spirit of Yah to overcome the enemy that was oppressing them. Until again, that generation died, another generation came that didn't obey, and this process happens over and over again. But what happens is, first you got to do what? You got to cry out to get that grace. On hearing that He won't answer you. Though Adonai may give you bread, good, but I love that. Though Yah may give you but bread and water, and not very much of that, your teacher will no longer hide himself. But with your own eyes you will see your teacher. With your ears you will hear a word from behind you. This is the way. Stay on it. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. With your ears you will hear a word from behind you. This is the way. Stay on it. Whether you go to the right or the left, this is the way. Stay on it. What is the way? His way. His way of holiness, 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 holiness. Hold on. Understand this. Understand that humbling yourself and hearing the Torah will lead you to holiness, holiness. With your ears, you will hear a word from behind you. This is the way. Stay on it. There was a highway, and the name of that highway was holiness. And you understand that way takes the Torah, the instructions, whether you go to the right or the left, right? This is what He told Joshua. Like, we know this. This is, we're drinking milk here, right? You will treat as unclean your silver-covered idols and your cast metal images plated with gold. You will throw them away like a menstrual cloth. You will say to them, get out of here. Like bloody rags that are gross for men and women. Women, I'm so sorry you got to go through that. And men, we come into the bathroom sometimes and we look in the toilet and they forget to flush and we see that and it's like, oh God, thank God I'm a man, right? Right. This is gross. Get out of here. Get out of here. Throw it away. And we're going to do that to what? To the idols. You got to feel about these idols like you feel about that. When you looking at, I'm sorry, y'all, I'm speaking the truth. When you look down in that toilet, maybe yourself, I'm sorry, maybe your wife, maybe your mama when you was younger, maybe your sisters, maybe if you're a little older man and you got daughters and they going through it, they don't know how to really do it in the beginning. Like, this is gross, bro. The repelling of it. You're supposed to feel like you feel when you look down in the toilet and see that thing that they forget and leave. That's how you're supposed to feel about your idols, bro. I'm be honest, yo. I'm sorry. I cringe more over that than I do when you look in the toilet and somebody take a dump and they forget to flush it. Or you go to the game or you're in some public place and the bathrooms are horrible, or you're in a porta potty and you see that it's gross. That's actually grosser than that. And that's how you're supposed to feel about those idols. Let those who have ears hear.